Do you feel it? An unexplainable anxiety in the air. The sensation that the world is hurtling towards a precipice and no one can hit the brakes. What if I told you it's not paranoia? That everything happening, from wars and cataclysms to the strange behavior of the sun, was foretold thousands of years ago, not in biblical prophecies, but in texts that are far older and far more terrifying. Imagine you are merely an experiment, a genetic project created for a specific purpose. Now imagine that your creators are returning, but not to embrace you, but to judge, to decide whether you are their most shameful mistake, which must be erased from the face of the earth. At the dawn of all prophetic visions, when the ancient scribes of Sumer first dipped their reed pens into clay to record the words of the gods, they not only laid out the history of humanity's creation, but also detailed prophecies about the ultimate fate of our species. These prophecies, preserved on cuneiform tablets buried for millennia beneath the sands of Mesopotamia, speak with chilling accuracy about the time in which we live today and the cosmic events that will occur between 2024 and 2030. Today, we stand on the threshold of what the ancient tablets call the time of choosing. This is a critical period when humanity's capacity as a species to continue existing will be tested, and our cosmic creators, the Anunnaki, those divine beings who genetically engineered our species hundreds of thousands of years ago, are returning to assess what their creation has become and to decide whether we deserve to inherit the advanced knowledge and cosmic citizenship awaiting those who pass their final trial. The omens described in the ancient prophecies are manifesting around us with astonishing precision. Wars and rumors of wars engulf the earth, just as the tablets foretold. Climate patterns are shifting, and extreme weather events are intensifying in accordance with the cosmic schedules recorded by Sumerian astronomers. Technological advances are unfolding exactly as the Anunnaki envisioned, placing humanity on the brink of either transcendence or annihilation. Most remarkably, the tablets speak of a generation of awakening that will arise in the final years before the return of the gods. These will be individuals who rediscover suppressed knowledge about humanity's origins and begin to prepare their fellow humans for the cosmic trials to come. If you are reading these lines, if you are drawn to understanding the hidden history and divine destiny of humanity, you may belong to those chosen to help guide our species through the challenges that lie ahead. The time of denial and ignorance is coming to an end. The cosmic clock, which began its ticking when the Anunnaki first arrived on Earth, is nearing its predestined completion. From today until 2030, humanity will face trials that will determine not only our immediate survival, but our eternal destiny among the civilizations of the cosmos. The question is not whether these prophetic events will occur. The ancient tablets make it clear that they are inevitable. The only question is whether enough people will awaken to the truth in time to influence the outcome in our favor. The bedrock of all Anunnaki prophecies lies in their profound understanding of the cosmic cycles that govern the movements of celestial bodies across vast stretches of time. The tablets reveal that the Anunnaki think not in terms of human lifetimes or even human civilizations, but in terms of cosmic epochs spanning hundreds of thousands of years. To understand their prophecies, we must first grasp the astronomical knowledge that underpins their divinatory science, central to the Anunnaki's prophetic calculations, is the orbital period of Nibiru, their home planet, which completes a full circuit around our solar system every 3,600 Earth years. This cosmic rhythm, which the tablets call the Great Tsar, serves as the fundamental unit for measuring the unfolding of divine plans and the evolution of human consciousness. According to the ancient chronologies, we are currently in the final phase of a cosmic cycle that began approximately 450,000 years ago, when the Anunnaki first arrived on Earth. This immense period has been divided into specific epochs, each corresponding to significant events in human evolution and the relationship between gods and mortals. The current epoch, which began around 4000 BC with the establishment of the first human civilizations, is now nearing its prophesied culmination. The tablets describe this final period in terms that are unmistakably congruent with our current era. They speak of a time when humans will develop technologies approaching the capabilities of the gods themselves, the ability to communicate instantaneously over vast distances, to manipulate genetic material, to harness the power of the atom, and to reach other worlds beyond Earth. All of these advancements, the prophecies explain, will herald the time for the divine return and the human judgment. More specifically, the tablets pinpoint a 7-year period immediately preceding the cosmic completion, during which the omens of the approaching judgment will become unmistakable to those with eyes to see. These 7 years, according to the most accurate astronomical calculations preserved in the cuneiform archives, began in 2023 and will culminate in 2030 with events that will forever alter humanity's relationship with our cosmic creators. The accuracy of these ancient predictions becomes even more remarkable when we examine the specific celestial phenomena that the tablets associate with this critical period. The Anunnaki astronomers foretold unusual solar activity, changes in Earth's magnetic field, and the appearance of celestial objects that would be visible to human observers. Each of these prophecies is unfolding with chilling precision as we delve deeper into the prophetic timeline. Perhaps the most verifiable aspect of the Anunnaki prophecies concerns the astronomical phenomena that will herald their return. The tablets describe specific celestial events with a mathematical precision that demonstrates the advanced scientific knowledge of their authors. When we correlate these predictions with current astronomical observations, the accuracy becomes both undeniable and deeply unsettling. The prophecies begin with descriptions of unusual solar behavior that will intensify as the cosmic cycle nears its apex. The tablets speak of the sun exhibiting an angry light and strange flares that will disrupt Earth's protective barriers and alter weather patterns across the planet. Modern solar observatories have documented precisely these phenomena, with solar activity reaching levels unseen in recorded human history. The 2024 solar maximum, predicted to be the most intense in over 2 centuries, aligns exactly with what the tablets describe as the awakening of the fire god's wrath. The electromagnetic storms generated by this solar activity are already disrupting global communications, satellite operations, and electrical grids, just as the ancient astronomers foretold. Even more specifically, the tablets describe changes in Earth's magnetic field that will accelerate during the final 7 years. They predict that the magnetic poles will begin to shift more rapidly, causing confusion for creatures that navigate by magnetic fields and potentially exposing the planet to increased cosmic radiation. Current scientific observations confirm that Earth's north magnetic pole is indeed moving at an unprecedented rate, increasing from approximately 9 miles per year in the 1990s to roughly 34 miles per year today. If you find these accurate fulfillments of ancient prophecies as compelling as we believe they are, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated on the cosmic events unfolding around us. After all, understanding these prophetic patterns is not just an academic curiosity, but a practical preparation for the trials that await humanity in the years to come. The tablets also describe the appearance of new lights in the sky that will become visible as Nibiru approaches the inner solar system. While mainstream astronomy has yet to officially acknowledge the discovery of Planet X or Nibiru, numerous independent researchers have documented objects in the outer solar system whose characteristics align with the ancient descriptions. NASA's own publications on Planet 9 acknowledge gravitational anomalies that suggest the presence of a large planetary body beyond the orbit of Neptune. Perhaps most intriguingly, the prophecies describe a period when celestial lights will multiply and stones will fall more frequently from the sky. The surge in visible meteors, asteroid close approaches, and fireball events in recent years aligns precisely with this prediction. The tablets suggest that these phenomena are not random, but are caused by gravitational disturbances created by Nibiru's approach. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Anunnaki prophecies is their prediction concerning human consciousness during the final period before their return. The tablets describe the emergence of what they call the generation of awakening, individuals who will begin to remember their divine heritage and rediscover suppressed knowledge about humanity's origins. According to the prophecies, this awakening will not be random, but will follow specific patterns dictated by genetic factors inherited from the original Anunnaki human hybridization. Certain bloodlines carrying enhanced Anunnaki DNA will experience a spontaneous activation of dormant genetic programs, leading to heightened intuition, extrasensory abilities, and an irresistible pull towards ancient knowledge. The tablets describe these awakening individuals as those who hear the call of the ancestors and the children who remember the stars. They will be drawn to ancient texts, archaeological discoveries, and alternative histories that mainstream academic institutions continue to suppress or ignore. More significantly, they will begin to recognize that human civilization is approaching a cosmic crossroads that will determine the ultimate fate of our species. This prophetic description aligns perfectly with the global phenomenon we are witnessing today. Millions of individuals around the world are experiencing spontaneous spiritual awakenings, developing psychic abilities, and feeling an urge to seek the truth about human origins beyond conventional religious and scientific explanations. The explosive growth in interest in ancient astronaut theories, suppressed archaeology, and alternative history reflects the genetic programming activating within those bloodlines that have been chosen to guide humanity through the coming transformation. The tablets also predict that this awakening will be accelerated by technological advancements enabling rapid communication and information sharing across the planet. The internet and social media platforms have effectively allowed the awakening generation to find each other and share suppressed knowledge, despite the efforts of established institutions to maintain their control over information. More specifically, the prophecies describe how the awakening individuals will begin to recognize each other through signs and symbols that speak to ancient memory. The proliferation of spiritual communities, truth-seeking movements, and alternative research networks demonstrates the precise manifestation of this prophetic pattern as foretold by the Anunnaki. A central theme of the Anunnaki prophecies concerns a cosmic trial that humanity must undergo to determine our fitness for continued existence and potential ascension to cosmic citizenship. The tablets make it clear that our species was created for a specific purpose, and the time has come to assess whether we have fulfilled that purpose or whether we represent a failed experiment that must be terminated. According to the ancient texts, the Anunnaki view humanity as their genetic children, who have been granted a period of independence to develop their own capabilities and demonstrate their spiritual evolution. This probationary period, which has lasted for millennia, is now drawing to a close. Our cosmic parents are returning to assess what we have become and to decide whether we deserve to inherit the advanced knowledge and technologies that await mature civilizations. The criteria for this judgment are clearly outlined in the tablets. Humanity will be evaluated on several factors: our technological advancement, our social evolution, our environmental stewardship, our spiritual growth, and most importantly, our unity as a species. The prophecies warn that civilizations that fail these trials will face extinction, while those that succeed will be elevated to cosmic citizenship and granted access to a galactic civilization. The tablets describe specific trials that will intensify during the final 7 years of probation. These include natural disasters, economic collapse, social unrest, and conflicts between nations, all designed to test humanity's capacity for cooperation and for overcoming adversity through wisdom rather than force. The current global situation, with its cascading crises and escalating tensions, seems to align with these prophetic descriptions with alarming accuracy. Perhaps most significantly, the prophecies describe a great choosing that will occur during this period, where individual humans will be forced to align themselves with either the forces of unity and evolution or the forces of division and destruction. This choice will not be based on religious or political affiliation, but on a fundamental spiritual orientation, whether an individual chooses service to others or service to self as their primary motivation. The tablets warn that those who choose the path of selfishness, greed, and domination over others will not survive the coming transformation, regardless of their worldly power or accumulated wealth. Conversely, those who choose compassion, cooperation, and service to the common good will be preserved and elevated regardless of their current social standing or material circumstances. One of the most dramatic elements of the Anunnaki prophecies concerns what the tablets call the war in heaven that will determine the ultimate fate of humanity. This cosmic conflict is not a battle between good and evil in a simplistic sense, but rather a struggle between different factions among our divine creators who have opposing views on the future of humanity. The prophecies reveal that the Anunnaki themselves are divided over the question of what should be done with their human creation. One faction, led by Enlil and his descendants, views humanity as a failed experiment that has grown dangerously out of control and must be destroyed or significantly but shortened. This faction cites environmental destruction, endless wars, and social inequality as evidence that humans are fundamentally flawed and unworthy of continued existence. The opposing faction, led by Enki and his lineage, argues that humanity has exceeded expectations and deserves the opportunity for further development towards cosmic citizenship. This faction emphasizes human achievements in art, science, and technology as proof that their genetic intervention was successful and should continue. The tablets make it clear that this cosmic debate is not merely academic, but will determine the actual policies that will be implemented during the return. If the Enlil faction prevails, humanity can expect a reduction in population through natural disasters, epidemics, and conflicts designed to eliminate what they consider inferior genetic lines. If the Enki faction prevails, humanity will receive direct support and advanced knowledge to help us overcome current challenges and join the galactic civilization. Prophecies suggest that the outcome of this divine conflict will depend on the behavior of humanity during the period of trial. If we demonstrate wisdom, unity, and spiritual growth, we will strengthen the arguments of those who advocate for our preservation and advancement. If we continue on a path of destruction and division, we will provide arguments for those who prefer our destruction. Current global events can be understood as manifestations of this cosmic struggle. The forces that promote global unity, environmental protection, and technological progress represent the influence of Enki, while the forces that promote division, exploitation, and destruction reflect the Enlil faction, working to demonstrate humanity's unsuitability for survival. The Anunnaki tablets contain surprisingly accurate prophecies about the technological developments that will characterize the final period before their return. These predictions demonstrate not only advanced scientific knowledge, but also strategic planning spanning millennia, suggesting that human technological development has been guided according to predetermined timelines rather than occurring through random discoveries. The prophecies describe a period when humans will develop the ability to speak over vast distances as if they were face to face, a clear reference to telecommunications and the internet. More specifically, they predict that this technology will be used to awaken human consciousness, allowing for the rapid dissemination of suppressed knowledge and alternative information. The tablets also predict developments in genetic engineering that will allow humans to alter the very essence of life, clearly describing genetic engineering and biotechnology. The prophecies indicate that these abilities are not accidental, but represent the return of knowledge that was intentionally programmed into human consciousness to be activated at a specific time. The timing of these technological breakthroughs precisely matches the prophetic timeline for the divine return. The explosion of innovation in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, genetic engineering, and space technologies over the past decade corresponds to the acceleration predicted for the final phase of human development. The tablets also warn that advanced technology in the hands of spiritually immature beings poses a tremendous danger to both humanity and the cosmic community. The prophecies suggest that our technological progress is carefully monitored to ensure that we develop wisdom and ethical constraints alongside our growing capabilities. Among the most accurate and disturbing prophecies in the Anunnaki tablets are those that describe the environmental changes accompanying the final period of trial. The ancient texts say that the earth itself will rise up against its inhabitants through increasingly severe natural disasters, climate change, and ecological collapse, phenomena that will serve as both consequences of human behavior and warnings of cosmic judgment. The tablets describe a time when waters will rise and fall in anger, winds will carry destruction across lands, and the earth will tremble with increasing fury. These descriptions perfectly match the intensifying pattern of hurricanes, floods, droughts, wildfires, and earthquakes that characterize our current era. The prophecies make it clear that these are not random natural phenomena, but cosmic responses to humanity's failure to manage the environment. More specifically, the ancient texts predict that the planet's protective barriers will weaken during this period, allowing harmful cosmic radiation to reach the surface and affect both human health and planetary ecosystems. The ongoing depletion of the ozone layer and the weakening of the Earth's magnetic field accurately match these prophetic warnings. The tablets also describe changes in the composition of the atmosphere that will alter weather patterns and render certain regions uninhabitable. Increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases and the resulting climate instability fulfill these ancient predictions with frightening accuracy. The prophecies indicate that these changes are not merely environmental, but represent a cosmic test of humanity's ability to cooperate in addressing global problems. Perhaps most ominously, the tablets warn of a great cleansing that will occur if humanity fails to demonstrate proper stewardship of the planet. This cleansing is described not as divine punishment, but as a natural consequence, the earth purging itself of inhabitants who have proven unworthy of the gift of life. The prophecies also describe omens in the animal world that will foreshadow the coming cosmic transformation. Mass die-offs of fish, birds, and other creatures, unusual migration patterns, and changes in the behavior of domestic animals are all mentioned as indicators that the natural world is sensing approaching cosmic events. The Anunnaki prophecies contain detailed descriptions of the economic and social upheavals that will characterize the final period before the divine return. These predictions demonstrate a subtle understanding of complex systems that were only fully developed in the modern era. However, the ancient texts describe their eventual collapse with remarkable accuracy. The tablets speak of a time when the merchants of the world will control the destinies of nations, and gold and silver will flow like water between distant lands. This clearly describes the global financial system that has evolved over the past centuries, with international banks, currency markets, and multinational corporations wielding influence that extends beyond national borders. The prophecies predict that this system will become increasingly unstable during the final period, with major shocks threatening the foundations of world trade. The economic crises, market volatility, and currency instability of recent years appear to fulfill these ancient warnings of systemic financial collapse. More specifically, the tablets describe a period when debts will bind nations like chains, and the poor will cry out while the rich feast in palaces. The current global situation with unprecedented wealth inequality and levels of national debt aligns with these prophetic descriptions with alarming accuracy. The ancient texts suggest that this economic inequality represents a test of humanity's ability to create just and sustainable systems. The prophecies also describe the emergence of false prosperity based on promises of future payments rather than actual value creation. This perfectly describes the debt-based financial system that dominates the modern economy, where money is created through lending rather than backed by real assets. The tablets warn that such systems will inevitably collapse when trust erodes. Perhaps most significantly, the ancient texts predict that the collapse of the global economic system will serve as a catalyst for either human cooperation in creating better systems or a slide into chaos and conflict. The outcome will depend on whether humanity has developed sufficient wisdom and unity to address systemic problems through cooperation rather than competition. The most accurate and pressing prophecies in the Anunnaki tablets concern specific events that will occur during the 7-year period from 2023 to 2030. These predictions are so detailed and chronologically specific that they effectively provide a timeline for the unfolding of cosmic judgment and the return of our divine creators. According to the ancient texts, the beginning of what they call the Great Revelation is a period when suppressed knowledge of human origins and cosmic connections will become undeniable to anyone willing to examine the evidence. The tablets predict that astronomical discoveries, archaeological findings, and technological advancements will converge to make the reality of extraterrestrial intervention in human history unavoidable. The prophecies indicate that the year 2025 will bring signs in the sky that all nations will see, likely referring to visible manifestations of the approaching Nibiru or other cosmic phenomena that will be undeniable even to mainstream science. The tablets suggest that these celestial events will trigger a widespread awakening of human consciousness and growing demands for truth from governmental and religious authorities. 2026 is described as a year of great upheaval when environmental, economic, and social systems will face unprecedented stress. The prophecies suggest that this will be a pivotal year that determines whether humanity chooses unity and cooperation, or fractures into competing factions battling for dwindling resources. The period from 2022 to 2029 is characterized in the tablets as a time of choosing, when individuals will be forced to align themselves with either evolutionary or destructive forces. The prophecies indicate that this choice will not be voluntary, but will be imposed by circumstances, making neutrality impossible. Finally, 2030 is described as the year of divine return, when the Anunnaki will re-establish direct control over human affairs and deliver a final judgment on the fitness of our species for continued existence. The tablets make it clear that this is not a metaphor, but a literal event. Physical beings returning to Earth with technology and power that will make human resistance impossible. The Anunnaki tablets not only predict upcoming events, but also provide specific instructions for those individuals who awaken to the truth during the final period. These preparation protocols are presented not as suggestions, but as necessary actions that may determine individual survival and the overall outcome of humanity's cosmic trial. The first and most important preparation involves developing what the tablets call cosmic consciousness, an awareness of humanity's true origins, purpose, and destiny. This requires studying suppressed history, understanding the genetic manipulation that created our species and recognizing the ongoing influence of our cosmic creators on human affairs. Those who remain ignorant of these truths will be unprepared for the trials ahead. The second protocol involves spiritual development and activation of dormant genetic abilities inherited from our Anunnaki creators. The tablets describe specific practices for developing intuition, telepathic abilities, and other enhanced capabilities that will be crucial in the transition period. These abilities will allow awakened individuals to receive direct communication from benevolent cosmic forces and help them guide others through the coming chaos. The third preparation focuses on building communities of awakened individuals who can support each other during the trial period. The tablets emphasize that isolation and individualism will be fatal during the cosmic transformation, while those who form cooperative groups based on truth and service will have a far greater chance of survival and eventual advancement. The prophecies also provide practical guidance on physical preparation, including locations that will be safer during the period of Earth changes, methods for maintaining health during environmental stress, and techniques for preserving vital knowledge in the event of civilizational collapse. This information is presented not as survivalist preparedness for ordinary disasters, but as a guide to navigating unprecedented cosmic events. Perhaps most importantly, the tablets emphasize that the primary preparation must be spiritual rather than material. Those who focus solely on physical survival while neglecting spiritual development will ultimately fail the cosmic trial, regardless of their material preparedness. The Anunnaki will be evaluating individuals based on their consciousness and spiritual alignment, not on their worldly achievements or accumulated resources. The final prophecies in the Anunnaki tablets describe the outcome of the cosmic trial period and the establishment of what they call the new Earth under renewed divine guidance. These predictions outline a complete transformation of human civilization that will follow the return of our cosmic creators and the judgment of our species. According to the ancient texts, those individuals who successfully pass the cosmic trials will be granted access to advanced technologies and knowledge that will enable the creation of a civilization surpassing anything previously achieved on Earth. These include clean energy systems, healing technologies, transportation methods, and communication capabilities that approach what we might consider miraculous. The prophecies describe a new social order based on cooperation rather than competition, where human governments will function as administrative branches of cosmic authority rather than independent powers. National boundaries will become irrelevant as humanity is organized according to spiritual development and functional abilities rather than geographical or ethnic divisions. Perhaps most remarkably, the tablets predict that successful humans will undergo genetic upgrades that will extend lifespans, enhance mental capacities, and activate dormant psychic abilities. These modifications will not be imposed, but will be offered to those who demonstrate readiness for cosmic citizenship through their choices during the trial period. The new Earth civilization will serve as a stepping stone to humanity's eventual participation in galactic civilization, with Earth becoming a training ground for young souls from other worlds rather than an isolated planet plagued by primitive conflicts. Humanity will transition from a species created under divine guidance to a self-creating species, participating in the cosmic work of nurturing and guiding younger civilizations. However, the tablets also make it clear that that transformation will not affect all current individuals, those who fail the cosmic tests, through choices demonstrating spiritual immaturity, self-centered orientation, or destructive tendencies, will not be admitted into the new Earth civilization. Prophecies do not clarify the ultimate fate of those who fail, but suggest they will be relocated to an environment more aligned with their current level of development. As we stand in the year 2024, with the cosmic timeline accelerating towards its prophetic completion, every individual faces the most consequential choice in the history of our species. The Anunnaki prophecies make it clear that this is not a theoretical or distant contemplation of the future, but an immediate, practical decision that will determine both individual destiny and the collective fate of humanity. Evidence surrounding us confirms that ancient predictions are manifesting with alarming accuracy. Astronomical signs, environmental changes, technological advancements, and social upheavals all align with prophetic patterns described in tablets written millennia ago. The question is no longer whether these events will occur, but whether enough people will awaken to their significance in time to positively influence the outcome. For those who choose the path of awakening, the requirements are clear. Seek truth about human origins, regardless of social pressures to remain ignorant. Cultivate spiritual awareness through meditation and service to others. Build communities with other awakened individuals, and prepare both materially and spiritually for the cosmic transformation. This path offers the potential for survival and advancement, but requires the courage to relinquish comfortable illusions in favor of challenging truths. For those who choose to remain in denial and adhere to mainstream narratives that ignore the mounting evidence of cosmic intervention in human affairs, the prophecies suggest a very different outcome. Ignorance may provide temporary comfort, but it will not provide protection from cosmic events, which operate according to natural laws rather than human preferences. The Anunnaki tablets emphasize that this choice cannot be indefinitely postponed. The cosmic machinery governing these cycles operates with mathematical precision, indifferent to human readiness or preferences. The return will occur precisely when astronomical conditions align, regardless of humanity's preparedness, and judgment will be executed according to criteria established by beings eons ago, whose perspective encompasses galactic rather than planetary timescales. Yet, even within these sobering warnings, the prophecies offer encouragement for those who choose to act upon the knowledge they contain. The cosmic forces of evolution and advancement are stronger than the forces of destruction and regression, and those who align with higher purposes will be supported by energies beyond ordinary human limitations. The greatest tragedy would be if humanity confronted the cosmic transformation in ignorance, unprepared for events foretold by their ancestors with remarkable accuracy. The knowledge needed to successfully navigate the coming changes has been preserved and is available to those willing to seek it. Choosing to remain ignorant in the face of available truth constitutes, in itself, a fundamental spiritual test. The Anunnaki prophecies were not written to instill fear, but to provide guidance for humanity's greatest adventure, the transformation from cosmic childhood to cosmic maturity, from isolated planetary existence to participation in galactic civilization. The outcome of this transformation depends not upon the decisions of governments or institutions, but upon the decisions of individual people who understand the true significance of the time in which we live. The countdown has begun. The cosmic clock is ticking, and the future of humanity hangs in the balance as ancient prophecies unfold around us with the precision of celestial clockwork. The only question remaining is whether we will rise to meet our cosmic destiny or fade into the darkness of unrealized potential. The choice is yours. The time is now, and the cosmos watches to see what humanity will become.